Alright guys, we're here doing a condo inspection in Miami. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through the entire inspection process. Usually when I first begin, I like to kind of get my bearings, kind of figure out the layout of the home. So I'm just gonna look around. I'm gonna make note the electrical panels here in the hallway. Sounds like the AC is in here. Okay, I can see the air handler. Looks like we got a geothermal unit. You can tell it's geothermal by the water hoses here. The geothermal heat pump systems. Basically, you're gonna have the air handler in the closet, and underneath the building they'll run water lines that will cool down, circulate back up to the air handler and cool the air down. So here we have the washer dryer snack combo, dining room area, outside balcony, kitchen. This condo's not too big, so it should be a pretty quick inspection. It's vacant, no furniture, so we should be able to get to everything, get to all the outlets, get to all the windows and doors. This bedroom has a closet and a bathroom. Take a look around. Sinks, dual sinks, showers, toilet. All right, let's check the other room. This bedroom's a little bit smaller. It's got its own window here. A single sink, shower, toilet. All right, this looks pretty good. Looks like we have hurricane impact windows, which is good. The building was constructed in 2018, so that is required in the modern code to have hurricane impact windows. So we're gonna go ahead and start in the beginning. Now I kind of have a good layout of where everything is. So we'll go ahead and open up my reporting software here. And open up there. So as I go through, the first thing I come across is the electrical panel. So we're gonna open that up. Take a look, make note of any deficiencies. I see here we have some GFCI breakers. Since the home is vacant and there's nobody here, no furniture or anything, we're gonna go ahead and test those right away. We're gonna test them by pushing this white button here. You can see how the breaker had tripped and it went to the middle. So we're gonna push it down to off, on, and we're gonna repeat that process for each one. Make sure it trips. We're not going to test any of the other breakers, only the ones that are GFCI or AFCI. All right, so go ahead and open up the electrical section on my report here, and we're going to go ahead and take a picture. So the first thing that stands out to me while I'm looking at this is it looks like they didn't write anything in the label here, but they did put one up here. So we kind of just want to see what's what on here. Specifically, when I'm looking at an electrical panel, I'm interested in seeing what size breaker they had added for AC. Looks like they didn't label it. That's okay. So we're gonna make a note of the location. It's in the hallway. It is a square D breaker. You can also panel. You can also tell by the yellow symbol here on each breaker. Square D. We're gonna mark that. Okay. I'm also going to use my infrared thermometer here to just double check that none of these breakers are exceptionally overheating. No, everything looks to be fine. Okay, let's take a picture of these AOCI breakers down here. Okay. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pull off the panel so we can take a look at the branch wiring behind. Now, this is not required according to InterNACHI's standard of practice. However, here in Florida, we often exceed that standard. We always think it's a good idea, but also because a lot of times it is required. If we were doing a 4-point inspection, we'd have to take it off anyway, so. So I just make it a good habit to do. I don't expect to find any issues, being that the condo is pretty new. See what we got. So what we're looking for in electrical panels to make sure that there's no double taps, no corroded wiring, no oversized breakers or anything like that. A double tap, by the way, is when a wire, 2 or more wires are entering a breaker under one screw. Square D does allow for 2 wires. But it has to be installed in a certain way. But looking at this panel, doesn't look like we have any issues. Not that I would expect to find anything on a panel this new. Looks like we have copper wiring. We have aluminum service entrance conductors here, copper branch wiring. But everything looks good. Now, over time, you kind of get used to wire sizing. And it looks like this looks good. Okay. They even put the antioxidant paste on the aluminum branch entrance conductors, so that's good. So I don't see anything wrong with this panel. I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture with the cover off. Here's Romex, it's copper. All right, now we can put the cover back on. Make sure those wires that are poking out are tucked in. I can feel them kind of poking out a little bit. We don't want to mess anything up. Okay. There we go. Now we're flush. So what I like to do is put the screws back on, but I don't tighten them all the way. It makes putting all the other screws on much easier. Gonna drop one on the ground here. Okay, now all the screws are in place. We can go ahead and tighten it up. All right, so using our outlet tester, we'll look for any outlets here. I see one here. Since the home is vacant, I want to make sure we test as many outlets as possible. Green light means good. Let's take a look inside this closet here. Oh, not a closet, it's the bathroom. All right, we'll go in there in just a moment. Got the air handler. This unit, got the label here. Looks like it's a 2018, which is to be expected, same year the home was built. Here we can see the hoses. Yeah, I do want to check to see as if it's got a filter. Looks like they didn't put a filter on it, and looks like the coils are pretty dusty from not having a filter on for so long. So let's go ahead and pull up our report. Head over to all right, we're going to mark that it's in a closet. Geothermal. Manufacturer is FHP. Take a picture of the units. And we're also going to take a picture of the data plate. That's Bosch. Alright, looks like the condensate drain pipe is insulated, and we do not know where it leads to. We'll take a picture of it so they can see. Let's take a look at the... Well, before we walk away, I'm going to make a note of the dirty coils on the air handler. Let's take a picture of that. It's missing a filter. All right, so we can close this up. Here's our thermostat. We're gonna go ahead and activate the thermostat. Make sure it communicates properly with the AC system. You hear it kicking on. It's good. Let's take a temperature reading of the air return. Looks like it's coming in at 69 degrees. So the differential that you want to see is that the temperature of the air going into the unit to be about 12, 15, maybe even 20 degrees warmer than the air coming out. In other words, we want the air coming out to be a lot cooler than the air going in, obviously, because we're trying to cool down the space. But it should be at 20 degrees, 15 degrees cooler. So we got the AC running, so we're going to take a temperature reading here. So it was 69 when we first, now it's 59, it's dropping. Let's give it a minute to cool down. But I would say it's about 10-15 degree difference. Let's check it now. Should be 54 degrees. So yeah, it's about 15 degrees, give or take. Okay. We're also gonna, once we go into each room, we're gonna check the supply registers, the return registers, and make sure that they're all blowing cold air. This return plenum is screwed shut, so we're not going to open it. We'll just try to shine our light up in there and see if we see anything abnormal. Looks fine. Didn't see anything standing out. All right. Next takes care of cooling. Let's see, next up we got the laundry. For this, we're just gonna confirm that the dryer vent is leaving the living space. The building like this, it is probably being vented out in the exterior somewhere, so we're just gonna take a look inside the dryer, make sure there's nothing inside it. Make sure there's nothing inside. And we're gonna go ahead and run the dryer. Just to make sure it turns on. And we're going to notate that it's an electric dryer. Take a picture of these water valves, take a look at them, make sure they're not, you know, corroded, rusty. I mean, everything's brand new in here, so not something, you know, it's what we expect to see is everything looking good, but obviously our job is to double check that. You never know. 2018 is 4 years ago since this unit has been built. 4 years isn't a long time for, you know, a building, but it's the human factor that we can't be 100% about. All right, testing switches. This turns on the kitchen lights. This turns on living room lights. Okay. Now looking up at the ceiling, I don't know if you can see this, but there looks like there's a crack going across the ceiling. Crack, especially a hairline crack like this, is probably drywall related, or if this is a concrete ceiling, it just typical settlement concrete does crack. Does go all the way across. We're gonna make a note of it. We're gonna recommend to monitor it. And if they are concerned about the crack, that to get further evaluated by a specialist. Okay, now we can move into the kitchen. First, let's check the sink. Well, I think that beeping sound was this dishwasher. Might as well looks like this dishwasher is pretty loose. We're going to recommend to install that. Alright. First thing I like to do with kitchens is check the outlets. All outlets that are close by to a sink is required to have GFCI protection. I see a GFCI outlet over here. Most likely that these two are tied together. So what we're gonna do is put our outlet tester into this outlet, and we're gonna go ahead and test it. And we can hear that it did click over here. And now we're gonna make sure that it does reset. Okay, this one's not resetting that outlet. Let's test this one. Okay, so this outlet right here is actually tied to this outlet, which makes this outlet GFCI protected. This one is an actual GFCI outlet, so it's protected. So this is okay, that's the code. So we're gonna run the water, we're gonna make sure it heats up. Let's take a peek underneath. Make sure there's no leaking pipes or anything. Make sure that the dishwasher has a high loop. Looking for rust. And We have an outlet under the sink, obviously for the disposal and the dishwasher. Dishwasher is supposed to have GFCI protection. Let's double check to make sure that the GFCI protection for the dishwasher is in the panel. So here we have dishwasher, number 10. 10. So it looks like right now the dishwasher is not protected by GFCI circuits. It is tied together with the microwave. So as of right now, they are not protected. So we're gonna make a note of that. That's the garbage disposal will work. Alright, so for the dishwasher, see a picture of that. Okay. We're gonna notate that it is a little loose. When I pull on the door, the right side of the dishwasher did come out a little bit, so we're gonna notate that it should be secured better. And let's go ahead and put GFCI protection for the dishwasher. And while we're down here, let's take some picture of the plumbing. Alright, let's see. Looks like we got CPVC supply pipes, braided steel hosing. Let's check, take a picture of the drain pipe here. Looks good. PVC. We'll check the water temperature of the sink. And sometimes it takes a minute for the hot water to travel. It looks like about a 110. What you want to see is for the water temperature to be around 120. It's not too hot where it could scald your skin, but it's hot enough to kill bacteria in a tank if you have a tank, a water heater. Well, we look like we're at 118. That's pretty good. So we'll say between 110 and 120. Be sure of that. No leaks. Let's go back to our kitchen. Alright, we'll check out the cooktop. We'll put all the burners on high. So make sure that they all turn on. And we're also going to turn on the oven. Doesn't matter what temperature, we just got to see that it does heat up. So it won't heat up unless you close the door. It's a fancy oven. See, we got any heat in here. Looks like it's heating up. It's good. We're going to go ahead and turn that off. Let's make sure that we turn off all of the elements here. Refrigerators aren't necessarily part of a home inspection, but you know, we will open it up, make sure it's cold inside. Everything looks good in the refrigerator. Just grab a picture of that for the report. We're also going to just make sure the microwave, you know, take a look inside, make sure there's nothing inside. It looks like a little bit of cosmetic damage there, but for home inspection, we're just making sure everything's functional and no safety hazards are present. So cosmetic defects like this I usually don't make the report. Looks like it turns on. Okay, we're also going to check the ventilation fan. And we're also going to check the cabinets, make sure nothing's loose, make sure it looks good inside, make sure it's not falling off the wall or anything. Again, brand new cabinets, don't expect to find anything wrong, but you can never predict the human factor in things. So we got an outlet right here, might as well just, doesn't look like they really put it out that good, but let's see. Looks okay. Alright, so it looks like that's it for the kitchen. Let's head over to the main bedroom and take a look around. Looks like they have looks like the AC vent is pumping out cold air. Check the switches, lights are coming on. This condo is equipped with a sprinkler system. We're not going to check to make sure that works. but we will notate in the report that it is here. All right, so since the room is empty, we're gonna go ahead and just check every outlet real quick. Screen. It's good. That's good. So empty bedroom like this, there's not really much to check other than outlets and switches. Also want to make sure the sliding glass door opens. This is the view that they get from the balcony. Not bad. You know, when we're out here in the balcony, sometimes we want to just make sure that the, you know, the railing's good, nice and strong. I'm seeing a exterior electrical panel, or sorry, not electrical panel, exterior electrical receptacle or outlet. So we're going to check to make sure it's GSCI. It looks like this one was already tripped. I'll go ahead and turn it back on. Check to make sure it works. Yep. Looks like this one's working good. And let's see. Check the railings, looks everything looks good. Door's locked. Speaking of locked doors, let's make sure this one does. Okay, so it's locked. It's good. Also noting that this room does have a smoke detector. Before we move into the bathrooms and the other bedroom, we're just going to notate things like the floor, the walls, the ceilings, get another good look around. Sometimes when doing a home inspection, you know, we want to make sure we look at everything 3 or 4 times. Sometimes you'll miss it, miss a problem the first time around, and you look at it a second time and you'll see it. I don't see anything major here. Seeing some, you know, I'm seeing some scuff marks, some primer on the ceiling here. My guess is they were moving furniture, they scuffed up the ceiling, and then now they wanted to remodel. Some primer on the walls here, probably from when they hung up some pictures and they wanted to fill, you know, the holes. Take a look at our doors. Doors are simple. Just open and close. Make sure they got a door stop. This one kind of scrapes against the ground. For this one, we'll probably want a video because a picture is not going to really show. We're just notating the port that this door does bind a little bit on the grounds. It could be that the door is uneven or the ground is uneven in this spot, but either way, we can make adjustments to the door, make sure it doesn't bind there. All right, here we got a closet. Let's check out that closet ventilation, blowing colds. Closet light turns on. All right. This is looks like telecommunications. Probably a good spot to put your wireless router, or if you have a security system, you can put in here. Obviously, we don't check those type of systems. We're only interested in high voltage, not low voltage systems. Okay. All right, let's check out the bathroom. So we're going to turn on the sinks. Turn on the shower. We're going to turn on everything at the same time, because we want to make sure that there's no drop in water pressure. Get a picture of everything so we can show our clients what we see. Double check the temperature on each one of these sinks. And we get 100, over 100 degrees in this sink, 122 degrees in this sink, and about 100 degrees for the shower. For my reports, I always like to take a picture of all the water valves, just to make sure they're not rusty. I have them on the report. I didn't see any water heaters in the unit, so the condo building itself most likely has a boiler room. Alright, so a closer look at this outlet. These things. Some discoloration on there, but it looks like it could just be grease of some kind. Doesn't look like it's any scorching. And it does test good. This means that when I hit the test button on the outlet, that power is disconnected. When I hit reset, power is reconnected, so it means the outlet's working properly. Alright, so this bathroom is good to go. Alright, we're gonna have one more room to do. This room is the only area in the home that has a window. So we're gonna go ahead and test that. This looks like it was a piece. This looks like the locking mechanism for the window. It's right here. It looks like it's missing or disconnected. This is the crank. It does not look like the window opens, so at this time this window is not functioning. Okay. All right, so what I believe is going on here is that the window is locked, but the locking mechanism was removed or broke or whatever. So now the window is stuck in this locked position and cannot be opened. Now that we're in a new room, I'm going to check to make sure the vents are blowing cold. That one is. Return air, closet, blowing cold. Okay. And now check, make sure the closet light turns on. It does. And check outlets. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it looks like they did maybe some repair here. Although it's not, you know, smooth with the rest of the wall, it is considered cosmetic, if anything. So something like this would not go on a home inspection report. And it's important to remember that as home inspectors, we are only reporting on defects, things that are not working or needs repair or is a safety hazard of some kind. Okay, this one looks good. Okay, bathroom lights, same deal with the bathroom. Run the water. Toilet seat needs to be adjusted here. Lever's a little loose, but the toilet does function properly. Alright, so we have here a unique situation. All of the outlets near a sink have a GFCI protection. This one is not, doesn't have an actual GFCI outlet, but it could be wired with the others, so let's double check. So our tester here indicating that it did set off a GFCI outlet somewhere else, so we're gonna, before we leave, make sure we reset that outlet. Water temperature at the sink is hot. That's good. Let's check underneath, see if we got any leaks. Don't see any leaking here. All right. And this shower's getting steamy in here, so it's safe to say that the water is hot in the shower as well. Okay. So, I mean, overall, I'd say the biggest issue we found so far is this window not opening. Not really an issue to say it's a safety hazard or anything, but you know, a window like this, it would probably, out of all the issues that we found, this would cost the most to fix, you know. Let's take it out. Want to take a picture of the etching here because the client also ordered a wind mitigation report. Okay. All right, so now we're on a hunt for a outlet that popped. I'm assuming it's this one. Yep, looks like it. There we go. So go ahead and reset that. Now we're gonna go through our final checklist, starting from the top. Let's make sure that we turn off before I do that, you have to check these sliding doors. This one opens. This one opens. Gonna get a shot of this picture from the outside. Sorry, a shot of this window, I meant to say, from the outside. All right, this looks good. Go ahead and wrap up this inspection. Make sure these sliding glass doors are locked. Okay. That one's locked. Let's make sure this one's locked. Okay, so first thing on our checklist, was the oven turned off? Yes. Let's take a picture to make sure. Looks like oven is in the off position. Okay. Actually, you know what? This is why we go over things multiple times. Because the dishwasher was loose last time we checked it. Yeah. See, you can see. It slides in and out, so we did mark it on the report, but we failed to get a video, so let's do that while we're here. Okay. But it looks like it doesn't leak, so that's good. All right, so water fixtures. So this oven should be hot. Yeah, it's nice and hot in here. Or oven, I'm getting confused now. Dryer's hot. So one more time walking through the house. Sinks are turned off. Kitchen sinks turned off. Shower is off, sink is off. Okay, so all the water is off. All the GFCI receptacles were reset. We did that earlier. Is the refrigerator still powered on? Yep, nice and cold. Take a picture of that. Electrical panels. We're going to take a picture of the electrical panel. It's one of the last things we do, because we want to make sure none of the breakers are tripped, so everything is in the on position here. So I'll take a picture of that. Dishwasher. Okay, So, yep, and the dishwasher didn't leak or anything, so we'll take a picture of that. Prove everything was dry. Thermostat. It was set to 72. And we're going to set it to 73. Okay, 73. Okay, and there's our picture. All right. And now we're just going to make sure all the lights are off. Yes, lights are turned off. Okay. All right, so that pretty much takes care of a condo inspection. This is a very easy one. I mean, the condo building was built in 2018, so we didn't find much. Things that we did find: mounting of the dishwasher was off, missing GFCI protection for the dishwasher, window is inoperable. The binding door and a crack in the living room ceiling. So not much to say. Overall, pretty good. I think the clients will be happy here. And thank you guys for watching this episode of Home Inspector POV. I hope you'll join me again for the next one. Bye.